Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a really fun and interesting video idea, and I got this idea from my friend Rupi over on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel, so I'm gonna link her Instagram and YouTube down below. Definitely go and check her out. So she posted a Reels video on Instagram the other day showing how she uses eyeshadows as nail polishes, which blew my mind. That's something that I never would have thought of in a million years. But then once I watched the video and then I kind of went down a rabbit hole and was looking for other YouTube videos, and they actually do exist. I've never heard of this before. And I just got so excited because I have so many eyeshadow palettes just sitting around, ones that I don't use anymore. And I mean, this is a great way to just use up some eyeshadow while having countless nail polish options at the same time. So apparently Rupi had heard about this through the owner of Divina Cosmetics. I guess she had posted something at some point about doing this, and that's where Rupi got the idea. And she had painted her nails this beautiful shade in the video. So it really got me intrigued, and I wanted to test this out and see if it actually does work and how it works and all that. So I'm gonna be doing a demo for you guys. We're gonna test out some eyeshadows and see if they actually do work as nail polish. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so in the video, the whole process looked really simple. She said to first put a base coat of nail polish, just clear nail polish. You could probably even use a color too if you really wanted to. Put down the nail polish first, let it dry, and then take whatever eyeshadow you want to use for the color and apply it with one of these little sponge tip applicators. So I found this one in an old hard candy eyeshadow palette. If you don't have any of them, I believe you can just get them at the drugstore really cheaply as well. And then once you do that, you just go ahead and dip it into the eyeshadow, apply it to your nail. Once that's the way that you want it, then take a top coat and then cover it up and you're done. So the whole process looked really, really simple. So I decided to try this yesterday, and I applied the base coat that I have, which is the Ciate London Plant Pots base coat. I think you can pretty much use any clear nail polish that you want to though, or like I said, a color. And I just went ahead and put a coat of that on my left hand on every nail and just let that dry for a couple of minutes. So next up, when it comes to the eyeshadow, I thought it would be nice if I could use some palettes that I don't really use on my eyes very often and just kind of give them some love. So I chose the Milani Gilded Pastel palette because this is one that I have hardly used at all, but there are some really beautiful shimmer shades up here in the top row. So I decided to go with this green one, which is called Split the Bill. So I grabbed my little foam applicator, swirled it around into the color, and then just started to apply it to my thumbnail first. And I was actually shocked that it stuck to my nail, and I don't know what I was expecting. I thought maybe it was just gonna fall right off or not be very pigmented, but it really did seem to apply pretty well. I did notice that it wasn't grabbing completely, so I went in with a second coat, and to be honest with you, that didn't really help all that much. It still looked a little bit streaky to me, but I wasn't sure if it was just this particular eyeshadow that I was using and maybe a different one would work a little bit better. But either way, I went ahead and just did the rest of my fingers on that one hand, and with all of them, I tried to build it up as much as I could, but it still looked really streaky and kind of patchy. So I just kind of left it alone and then grabbed my top coat and then applied that on top just to seal everything in. And then after that, I thought, you know, these are not my favorite eyeshadows in the world. They're a little bit on the powdery side, so maybe I should try it with something a little bit more pigmented. So that's when I grabbed my huge palette of Sydney Grace singles, and I decided to choose one from here to do the other hand with and see what happens. So I decided to stick with the green theme, and I chose the shade Cadet, which is one of my favorites. This is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. And I just love this color so much, and these eyeshadows are super, super pigmented and not powdery at all. So after applying the base coat and letting that dry, then I grabbed my little sponge tip applicator again and dipped it into Cadet and started applying this one to my thumb. And I have to say, guys, it was night and day difference between this one and the Milani. This covered my nail really beautifully, and there were no streaks or anything like that. I didn't feel like I had to use multiple coats. I felt like one coat was pretty sufficient. It wasn't super easy to apply it with the sponge tip applicator. I think I might look for something that's just slightly smaller, especially when it comes to my other nails, because my nails are a little bit on the smaller side. But the good thing about applying eyeshadow versus nail polish is that if you get it on your skin around your nails, it comes off super easily. Like as soon as you apply the top coat, just go wash wash your hands and it comes right off the skin. So you don't have any of those issues that you have when you're applying nail polish. So when all was said and done, I was very happy with the way that the Sydney Grace hand came out versus the Milani one. I just think if you're gonna do this, you should probably use an eyeshadow that is a little bit more on the pigmented side. It just seems to work a little bit better. So let's look at some close-ups now. And first up, you're looking at my two thumbs just to see the difference. You can see on the Milani side, it definitely looks a little bit streaky. And on the Sydney Grace side, it just looks very smooth and even and really, really pretty. And then here's a look at the rest of my nails on both hands. And again, same thing. You can see just the streakiness and patchiness over on the Milani side versus the Sydney Grace. And honestly, I am just so excited to keep playing with this. I am just so ecstatic that this actually worked. And I'm not super discouraged about how the Milani side came out because these shadows just by nature are very powdery and they don't have good grip to your skin. And in particular, this pastel palette was probably the worst of them all. So I think there's so many good affordable eyeshadows from ColourPop, from BH Cosmetics that I think will work just fine. So I'm really excited to keep on playing with this. One other question that I did have was how a matte shade would work because everything that I've seen, people were using shimmers. So I went back into this Milani palette, probably shouldn't have done that, but I decided to use this mint green matte shade and see what happened. And just like I predicted it would, this one really did not stick. It was even worse than the shimmer shade. I tried to apply 2 coats and it just really wasn't building up and it was basically a flop. So then I decided to grab my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. It was just the first one I happened to see. And instead I picked up an orange matte shade. And this one definitely worked a lot better. Although I think the effect is still a little bit more subtle than a regular matte or cream nail polish would be. I think once you put the top coat on it, it would probably look a little bit better, give it a little bit of shine. But I think I will probably stick with the shimmery shades for the most part because I think those work the best when it comes to this method. So anyway, the biggest question I have now is how long these are actually going to last. I still have the ones I did yesterday on my nails. Everything still looks perfect for the moment. I mean, I guess as perfect as the Milani one can look, but the Sydney Grace side, it hasn't chipped or anything, and it still looks really good. I've washed my hands a bunch of times. I've been opening boxes. I think the top coat just kind of seals everything in, but I'm very curious to see what happens like when this starts to chip or wear away. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on this and whether you've tried it or not. If you do try it, definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know how it worked out for you. I just think this is so much fun. And I'm honestly tempted to just take these off and try it again with another color today. So anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out and watching my video. I appreciate it so, so much. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like drugstore and more affordable makeup and also dupes. I do a lot of those videos here on my channel. Thank you guys again so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.